Okay, hello everyone. We are going to have a little bit of a tactical session that you can view over and over and over again. So this is for the 24-25 season, for the 2012 DPL team, 2011 DPL, and 2011 Elite. I'm going to go over what we do when we are in possession, what we do when we are out of possession, goal kicks, corner kicks. I don't think I'm going to do kickoff or set pieces, but a little bit also about the responsibilities for each player as well as who they're connected to. And you should receive an email if you haven't already about who's playing what positions and therefore what positions to watch when I'm going through all this. So first of all, if you don't know the numbers of the positions yet, make sure you write those down and learn those because it's a lot easier. So what we will do this year for all three teams is a basic 4-3-3. That's actually not a 4-3-3 at all, depending on if we are in or out of position. So the first thing I want to talk about is defense, because everything begins and ends with good defense. We can't do anything, all the slick stuff we can do with the ball if we don't have it. So the first thing is getting the ball back. So I'm going to go over really quick 1v1D. If you were at the camp, you know this already, but let's say Little Miss Blue right here is going against R3 with the ball. There are 5 P's to individual defending, which we will go over at an upcoming session. The first one is I want to make them predictable. It is up to me, the defender, where this person goes. So if I run straight at her, she has the choice of going to her right or to her left. If I make a rounded or bended run, I can force her the way I want her to go. So I'm going to make a rounded run in here. So making her predictable. So now whoever is covering me as the 3, they know that if I'm making my run here, if I do get beat, it's probably going to be the inside where the help is so she can step forward. If I make that run this way, then my cover has to probably come all the way over here or at least be aware. Okay. So number 1, predictable. Number 2 is pressure. I got to take her time and space away as soon as possible. So let's say she has just received a pass from her teammate right here. She receives it. I want to get to her while her head is down. So now she's in a 1v1 situation. I've made her predictable. I've taken away her time and space. I want to get touch tight. I should literally be able to reach out and touch her hip with my fist. And I want to lock my fist so I can have an arm bar in a couple minutes here. So I've made a rounded run here. I'm watching her hips to see which way she is going to be facing. So I've made her predictable. I've pressured her into taking her time and space away. Now my main focus is to maintain my position. So let's say this all happens way back here in the box, and she's isolated up against me on the side over here. Okay, I want to force her into the middle where my help is, so I've made her predictable. I have applied pressure, so now I've got to maintain my position. So as she goes, well, let me add this in here. When I approach here, I want to chop my steps. Okay, I want to take small, quick steps with it's called side on, which is like you're standing on a surfboard or doing the twist. Okay, so I want to be having my feet, I'm going to put my focus here. I want to have my feet, see if I can get this right, like this. Okay, so I'm going to come in here like this. Now I've got her right where I want to. If she decides she wants to go this way, I'm already here. If she decides she wants to go this way, which I have her, then I can move this way with her. Okay. If I do poke at it, and a little hint for later, it's going to be with my front foot. But all I want to do is maintain my position. If you watch any professional soccer, you know that you don't have to win the ball right away. You just have to delay her long enough to where you can get help coming in. Okay, so let's say she doesn't like that and she goes the other way. So I'm just going to rotate with her. Okay, and maintain my position. So I'm just going to keep dropping and I'm going to remain side on. And I remain side on because if I get flat, I get megged. Okay, and no one wants to see that. So I maintain my position at all times. My backside should be facing the goal and I should be able to see the ball. I can attack her when she takes too big of a touch, when she looks down too long, or if she takes an incorrect touch. So third is position. Fourth is patience. I do not have to win the ball. I just need to maintain my position and outweight her. So be patient. And then number 5 is poke. So if she does take a touch that's too big, or if she does put her head down, let's say, I can just poke with my front foot, and that actually should be rotated a little bit more there. Okay, I'm probably over here right now. I touch, I can poke that away, and then my 11 maybe can come help me. I do not have to win the ball. I just need to create chaos that we as a team can clean up. So that is that. Predictable, then pressure, then position, then patience, then poke. If she does take a touch that's too big, I can put myself, whoops, we've got to rotate there. I can put myself between her and the ball, so I take her lane. She might be faster than me. That's okay. Remember I talked about arm bar? So if I have my arm on her hip, when she takes that big touch, I am going to slide in front of her, arm bar her into her stomach, and then establish my presence in her lane. So she now has to go around me one way or another, and I can just shield it until I have help come along. Okay, so there are the 5 P's of individual defending. So let's get the ball off the field. Let's get her off the field, and let's get the 3 back into where she's supposed to be. 3, 5, 11. And teammate goes back to the bench. Okay, so 4-3-3. There are a series of triangles here that we need to pay attention to. Okay, first and foremost is the 4, the 5, the 2 center backs, and the 6 are forming a line. Let's see if this works here. It does not. They are forming a triangle. So the 6 is the top of the pyramid. The 6's primary job is to protect the center backs. In the system that we will run, the 6th is more of a center back than she is anything else. She is a distributor. She can join the attack. Everyone is part of the attack. The keeper is part of the attack because the attack can start anywhere on the field. However, the 6th has to remain a zonal player protecting the outside backs. The 6 is, excuse me, protecting the center backs. The 6 is not a sideline to sideline player. The 6 basically goes to the outside of the 6 here and the 6 here. That is her area. Okay, she can come all the way back in, but she is protecting those 2. So this triangle is number 1. This triangle is number 2. We defend with 5 with the help of 4 more, actually the help of 5 more, and we attack with 5 with the help of 2 more plus a 3rd in support. Okay, so this triangle right here is we find our 6, the 6 can find the 8, the 6 can find the 10. The 10 is usually the first to get forward, regardless of what side she might be on. But they are always in a triangle. The 8 or the 10, whoever's on the side where the ball is going to do the work. The 6 goes over in support. The 7's helping. The 2 is helping. The 10 is remaining central. The 6 is there just in case we lose possession and we get broken. But again, she's not going too far over. And the 10 is there. So if the 8 wins the ball, pachango, she can get going. Okay. All right. So those are the main triangles that I wanted to focus on to begin. And that's just general play for positions. So talking about positions specifically, okay, the 2 and the 3, the 2 outside backs, your first connection off the ball defensively is to your center backs, okay? That is always a line of 4. If it is on one side, it looks like this, called zonal defending. It will be basically, we'll refer to it as the Nike swoosh. It makes a pocket and the 6 sits inside of it. Okay, so the 2 and the 3, their first connection off the ball defensively is to the 4 and the 5, the center backs. Offensively, they are connected to the 7 or they are connected to the 11. So as they go, the 2s and the 3s go. If we are on the attack and on the rush, and the 7 goes inside, the 2 supports outside, where she can make a run up the field. Okay, if the 7 sets up outside, the 2 supports inside. You are never, ever on the same vertical plane, it's called, or in the same channel. If you're going to make a run, if she's on the inside, do not make your run here. There's 5 channels. You want to be in the outside channel. Okay, make your run here, establishes more of a passing lane, and you get open faster. Speaking of getting open, your runs are not like this, 7 and 2. Your runs are out first, then up. We want you open first, then get high. Okay, so those are your connections 2 and 3. Defensively to the center back, offensively to the outside mid or forward, whatever you want to call it. We're going to call it a forward. Okay, 4s and 5s, you are the center backs. You are the heart of the team. The team is built from the net out and down the middle in terms of strength. What I like to say is the middle players prevent us from losing, and the perimeter players, the outside players, enable us to win. If they do their job, we're going to score goals, including the 9 in there. If they do their job in the middle, we're not going to lose. So always go strength in the middle and then add the pizzazz on the outside. Okay. So again, outside backs, you already have your connections. You are also a second set of forwards. Okay. You're not just a defender. You are part of the attack. And I'll show you why in a few minutes here. 4s and 5s, you can never be flat unless you're establishing some kind of a line. Ball side is always up, weak side is always below. You are never, ever, ever separated. I want you to think of yourselves on a rope. So if the 4 is supporting like this, the 5 is right behind her. Ignore all these others right now. Okay, those 2 are always connected. If she's over here, she's going to be right here. But they are never, ever, ever flat. Okay, 4s and 5s, that's you. 2s, we've got you. 6, already talked about you a little bit. You protect the center backs. You stay in this pyramid. 8, you're the get it and give it player. Okay, you're going to get the ball from the other team as much as possible and then give it up. You primarily work from box to box. You are part of the attack, but you are the player who is going to get the ball back probably more than anyone else. You're the workhorse. You go sideline to sideline. 10, you're included in that. The 10 has a little bit more offensive flair to her, though, where she can create her own shot and might be a little more adept at through balls. However, what we're going to do is basically each of these players are going to be 8 10s. So you're going to do the work of the 8 with the flair of a 10. How's that? Okay. So you're going to have a lot more scoring chances, but you are going to have more defensive responsibility. So the 8 gets more scoring chances. The 10 has more defensive responsibility than last year or is typical. All right. 7 and 11, your first responsibility. Oh, I need to pause here real quick. The 8, you are connected to the 6, especially defensively. Back in our own third, you're going to come back all the way. 10, you're going to come back kind of to their 6 or sit in that gap right there. So defensively, there is this triangle right here as well. You are also connected to the 9 offensively, but in terms of how high you get up the field, and that's mostly for the 10 or whoever is on ball side. Okay, 7-11. Your connection defensively is 7, you're connected to the mid that's closest to you. 11, you're connected to the mid that's closest to you. So if we lose possession, you're coming inside, okay? 11, you're coming inside. It creates a line of 4, and we'll talk about this in a few minutes here. This is extremely important, okay? And is one of the hardest transitions to do coming onto a defense-focused team that tries to get the ball a lot in order to score more goals. And that's what we are going to be. So as soon as we lose possession, you are inside. We want to protect this zone right here. We want to cut off passing lanes from the inside to their outside backs or to their forwards. But we lose possession, you are inside. So defensively, your connection is the 8 or the 10, depending on who's on what side. Okay. Offensively, 7 and 11, you are connected to the 9. So if the 9 shifts one side or another, say the ball is over here with the 3, okay, the 11 has, let's say the 11 has made a little run in here, opened up the space over here, and the 9 is making an angled run, okay? 7 is connected to the 9. Therefore, if the 9 shifts, the 7 shifts up with her. If the 9 comes back, the 7 shifts also and now is high. So 7, you're connected to the 9. 11, same thing on the other side. If the 9 shifts this way and we are in possession over here, you are going to come inside here high. Now, how far do you go? They are going to have their back line of 4. So let's put those girls over here. So she'll probably be up here. She will have shifted there. She will have shifted there, and she might have shifted right there. So let's say our 9 is checked back in, asking for the ball here. The 7 is out there. Our 2 is in possession. Our 8 has shifted over, asking for a ball. 10 is filling this space here. Now you're high inside of that outside back. And here's why. If she comes in, she's going to occupy her. Chances are at this age. If we are able to connect the ball and then put it through, let's say the 7 runs onto it. If that 9 is here and the 7 can just serve a ball in, she now becomes the highest player. So she has a chance at goal. Remember who's connected to the 11? That's right, it's the 3. So if the 11 is inside and we are in possession, she's now going to be outside here. The 6 has moved up, the 4 and 5 have moved up. So the 11 is high, the 3 comes in on the outside. If this ball misses and pops out here, she's chasing here, we've got the 3 attacking right there. If we get deep into their zone and the 11 is there, the 9 has made their run there, the 10 is providing a little bit of depth here, and the 8 is coming back down the middle. 2 is in support, she's inside, the 2 is outside a little bit. The 3 can come all the way up. Weak side, outside back makes the run. Weak side, outside back makes the run. Strong side, strong side, outside back stays in support. The 6 stays back with the center backs. A little jam there. It's not really to scale. Just in this general area right here. Okay, so if that ball goes all the way across, there she is to put that in. Okay, and if the ball does swing across here to her, then we can all reshape as we go along. Okay, so 11 and 7, you're connected to the 8 and the 10 respectively defensively. 2 and 3, you are connected to the 4 and 5 respectively defensively. 6, you are connected to the 4 and the 5, not back here, up in a pyramid. 8 and 10, you are connected to the 6 defensively. 9, you are kind of on your own defensively. Your job is to come back when they are in possession, take their 6 away, and cut the field in half to try to keep everything on one side. All right, there we go. Now we're back in a relative shape right there. Okay, so when in possession, our 4-3-3 actually becomes more of a, let's get these guys up. So it would be a 2. Let's say the 3 and the 2 are up here. 2, 3, 2, 3. Okay, so that's kind of how it looks in the attack. All right, we want these guys up. We want these guys up. We want these two in support and different horizontal planes, but that's kind of how it will look. And the 2s would be outside because we are in possession right now. As soon as we give that ball up, you're back inside with your defensive connections, back inside with your defensive connection, back inside with your defensive connections, pulling back. Okay. So let's talk about the defensive shape now. So let me reorganize here. Offensively, it's more of a 2-3-2-3. Defensively, it's a 4-1-4-1. When you're doing the numbers there, you're always counting from the back up. I'm ignoring keeper down here. So 1-4-1-4-1 is actually what it's technically called. Okay, so other team has the ball. We are going to show their back line. Most teams play a 4-3-3 that we'll be playing. They might have 2 6s. They might have 2 8s. They might have 2 10s. Who knows? They will have a keeper. Okay, so there is the other team in possession. Okay, so ball goes to one side. It's with their outside back. 7's zone is going to the 7 zone presses. Then you've got your line of 4. Okay, like this. We've got pressure, we've got cover, we've got balance, we've got secondary cover, and then we've got the 9 coming back in here. So what we can do is essentially she puts pressure on. She wants to make her predictable, right? So it's going to force the ball back in. It's okay that she is open. It is okay that she is open. It is okay that she is open right now because the ball is on this side. 6 is up in here, providing a secondary safety. And then the outside backs, if the ball is on this side, you are all the way up. She might even be up here. That's fine. You're going to be up there with her. You are up there trapping her in. Then we've got the 4 and the 5, and the 3 is just going to hang out in a zone. So we have got a Nike swoosh here. We've got a Nike swoosh here with proper connections both ways. It is okay that these two are open, even if it's in the middle third. If it's in our box, especially close to the 6, that's a different story. So they move the ball here. Our 9 can make a run at her to pressure, or our 9 can sit back. It's fine. Okay, if they try to make that pass right here to her, she's got her back to our goal, so she's facing her own goal. The 8 can step up. 7 comes back in. 11 still is there. And she can go back here, but now we've made her predictable. So she doesn't probably want to go here because the 9 can jump, or the 9's going to sit here. She probably doesn't want to go back here, although she can, but if she does, the 7 can jump it. So we're inviting one pass, then we're taking all the options away. If they do swing it out of the back, which is one of the options on how to beat it, then we can still shift with her. Okay, so we don't want her to make a run. So we can hold this spot right here, and we want to make them predictable. First P, right? So we want them to make this pass right there. 10 moves over, 8 moves over, 7 moves over, 3 knows right away that she's going to have this girl. So she gets into this space. 5 shifts, 4 shifts, 2 shifts, 6 shifts. If she makes that ball, this girl right here is allowed 1 touch. If she makes a bad touch here, she can go. This girl is allowed 1 touch. 11 has to take her second touch away. So as soon as she gets as soon as that ball arrives, the 11 is arriving with her. That's the pressure, right? Predictable, then pressure. Now we want to keep this position right here. She's got her. We've all shifted. 10 and 8 have middle options. 9 has come to the other side of the 6. 7 is hanging tight right here. Yes, this girl is open. No one that we are going to play at this age is going to be able to make that pass. And if they did, we would still have time to shift over and be just fine. So that is how that line of 4 shifts and works, okay? It is really hard to beat in here. They have to do a lot of one touch to get through it. And really, really, really good teams can. But we won't find many of those. So if we can manage this, we will get this ball back quickly and then are up. So let's say they either change the point of attack through the back, which they haven't been able to do because we've shifted. They can go one touch passes through, which we're saying for this case that they're not doing. They're not as good as the top level teams in the country. The other thing is to go over it. So they could go over the pressure, which is going to set up a 1v or actually a 1v2 by the time that ball lands with their 9. Now, could they lay it off? Probably, but the 6 is here to help and the 2 is coming back anyway. Okay. So it looks something like that in this case. We'll be fine there. And if it goes way over our keeper, your connection is to that back line. So if that back line's up, you're back up, you're up with it. If that back line is all the way up here, you're all the way up here. It is going to feel weird at first, but they're not going to chip you. You were there to take away long balls and be a change of point of attack in the back. Okay, so those are the ways you can beat it, but that is what we are going to do defensively. So let's say we gain the ball. Okay, let's say the 10 gains the ball right here. We want to have a counter attack that is lightning fast. The trigger is we gain the ball, and then immediately we want to get out and up. Okay, because the other team, when they give up the ball, they're going to come in. So as soon as we gain the ball, she steps outside. We try to find her, then she gets forward with it. Okay, 9 can make her run, and the 3 can make her run. So now we have her in support. 11 has the ball. 8 is showing. She should have 3 options down the line, behind, and square at all times. And the 7, remember the 9 shifted. The 7 now steps up. Weak side, outside back makes the run. So she has come up here. She is outside in support. 6 is still holding her zone. And now 4 and 5 have reset. So now we're in an attacking shape. Okay, and our 2s and 3s are involved. Our 6 is back protecting, holding this zone. Okay, so she can come in. We've got the 7 making the run to the dot or the back post. 2 now comes in outside. 3 comes in, and then we just find our space as you normally would in an attack. One thing that I will harp on over and over and over again, if you are on the side of the goal and you have the chance at a shot, do not go short side, go far side, get across the face of goal, okay? That way, if we have runners going to the back post, we also have more of a chance that if you do miss, it will pop out on a rebound. Wherever your hips are pointing, that's where the ball is going to go. So turn your hips. If you have the ball on the end line, you cannot score from there. If you can, it's going to be 1 out of 50 chance that you're going to get it. Your job is to draw it back to the dot where we will have someone waiting for it. In this case, the 9 is probably running to the front post. The 7 is taking the back post. The 10 and the 8 are hanging out at the dot in different levels. And the 2 is here about halfway, because if it does squeak through, she can step onto it. You can always run up on it. It's easy. It's harder to run back and then come up. Okay, she's going to be there, and the 3 is here. If we lose possession, what does everybody do? They collapse in again. So that 7's going to get inside again. 8 comes in, 10, we want to find that line again as soon as we can. And then 9 comes in, 3 falls back, 6 shifts, 4, 5 shifts, and the 2 is going to fall back to her spot as well. And then we're right back to where we started when we talked about defensive. So now we've got defense into an attack and then back into defense. Okay, so that's how we're going to do the majority, of our run of play. In our box, when it comes back into here, how far do we go back? Things like that. So if they have that ball out on the side, okay, I kind of showed this earlier. They have the ball out on the side. We've got the 2 out here. 4, we still want Nike swoosh. We still want pressure cover. Okay. The other center back has to come over, and then the outside back is here. So it's still the swoosh with the 6 coming in, the 8 coming in, the 7 is inside, the 10 is holding high, and the 9 is staying up at half. The 11 comes back in to get this part right here. Okay, so we want to have as many bodies as we can for as many different layers. She's going to pressure her in there quickly. 7 and the 6 can come in to help. So we want to have as many layers that she has to get through to get to the goal or to get a shot off. Okay, that is how that will look. If their 6 is hanging out up here, there's their 6 hanging out up here. The 10 basically hangs in the middle. She can take her away, or if she needs to come help with someone who's fallen here, the 9 comes in. When the 9 comes down and drops, their center backs are likely going to drop with her. So I like to keep the 9 up top, which holds the center back. They will, like us, we always want a +1 in numbers up there. Okay, let me move these guys right here. So right now, blue is +1. They've got 2 for our 1. So that's the same as we want. We want +1. Okay, so our defensive shape is just pressure cover. Our defensive shape in our own third. It's right here. So if this ball ends up with, let's say we beat everyone. Let's say the 11 is slow getting back, and there's a girl wide open here. Okay, and it's gotten by the 8, and the 3 is right here. The 5 is moved over. We cannot get to our spots. Okay, I've seen this happen many times. Where, get back on side. Okay. Where the 3 will say, well, this girl's wide open. I need to go over to her. Well, the most dangerous part on the field is right here, correct? They're going to score from here more often than they're going to score from right here. Leave her. Your job is to protect this zone right here. And if you're in this zone and you pressure, she's actually going to come over here if the 11 has not gotten there ahead of time. They can move the ball here. She can take a one-touch shot, or chances are by the time she goes for her second touch to take a shot, we'll have people there. Okay, but the point of this portion of it is your zone, in these zones in the middle, making sure they are covered is priority number 1. Okay, this is no good because this is wide open. This is good because this at least gives us a chance. And this is if everything breaks down. And this will happen from time to time. But keep in mind, you want the middle channels covered first. When we gain the ball in the back, we have exits. Okay, so let's say center back wins the ball. We want to get out as fast as possible. Okay, our exits, as soon as we get it, 7 goes wide, 11 goes wide, 10 is in her gap, 9 shows ball side. Okay, so immediately we gain the ball. We want to get it out here, or at least put it in space. If the 3 gets the ball, she's going to do the same, or she's going to take a big touch out so she can get here. Now we've got the 11, we've got the 9 shifted over, we've got the 10 being weak side, or in this case, this mid was on this side, so she could actually come down. But let's say for the sake of it, the 8 moves over. Okay, or 6 shifts, 5 moves, 4 stays, 2 is in until we get out of that third. And then who is the 7 connected with? If this ball is made and then 9 moves, the 9. So the 7 can actually kind of sneak up in here. Okay, and we're going to try to attack through the middle third on the outsides with minimal touches. So we already have check back, we have angled run. Very rarely will we just say, pass it to me in the middle. We want to get this girl out in space. Here, we'll do that ball where she can run onto it. Then the 7 in her connection is already up with the 2 making the run behind on the outside. Okay. All right. Let's reset and we'll go over goal kicks. First, we'll go over our goal kicks. So let's get blue back to their respective bench. If you have seen this far in the video, the code word is Jupiter. I'm going to ask you what this code word is, and the code word is Jupiter that you watched this far. Okay. Goal kicks. Keepers, you take your own goal kicks. No questions asked. Okay, let's move. 7, you're going to be all the way up here. 9, you're actually going to come down. 11, you go as wide as we can up there. 3, you're going to be just under the top of the 18, out wide. 2, same thing. 4 and 5 on the edge of the 6s. 6, you're going to sit in the middle. With the 8, we'll make, this is a little bit different this year. We're going to put 2 options right here, and then we're going to take the 10 and the 9 and to move the 9 down. So it makes it difficult on their center backs because now the middle channels in the middle third to our defensive third, now we have a numerical advantage. So this is kind of what it looks like. Okay, and it'll actually be a little bit wider. So that is what our goal kick will look like. And then for the keepers, I want you to move it to one side or another. Okay, so you have 2 options. One is to lay it off. Okay, and one is to go big. You go big, it goes here, or it goes here. If it does go big, you can tell everyone on the field with the waves of your arms, I'm going big. It's okay. It's done all the time. In which case, our center backs will come in. Our outside backs get in fast. We want to make that line of 4 behind wherever the ball is going to land. And then she's coming in. Everybody is in. In this case, we know it's going over here, and that's fine. We're just going to outnumber them. Ball lands in here. We've got people running to it. She would take that spot there. Okay, but for possession getting out, which is what we will do most of the time, let's shift to one side. 4, you can actually be here if you want. But we'll put you right here for this. We've got 6 and 8 and 10 and 11 and 9 and 7. Good. Okay, so here's how we get out. Lay it off. She can go big if she wants. Her first choice, if she is able, is to dribble forward into space. Anytime on the attack, if you have grass, go. Okay, she can go straight forward with the ball until she's cut off. If she's cut off already, then she has these options. This is the easy one right here. She can go a little bit safer and try to hit her up here. We'll have the 9 right here. If there's a lane, maybe she can find her. If we can find the 6 or the 8, whoever happens to be on this side between these 2, so be it. And now we can go or put something like that. Chances are what will happen most times is she takes one touch forward and then moves it outside. 7, you're tracking back down. 9, you can start moving up. 6, 10, and 8, however we are organized, you're coming in. 1 is staying central again, and then whoever is connected to the 9 goes high. 3 comes back in until we are out. Okay, so here's how it looks. So let's say we're able to find the 8. The 8 has her as an easy exit if she wants to stay pressure side. Chances are we want the 8 to find her partner. So as soon as she hits her, 3 is moving, 11 moves out, 5 is in support, 9 moves back in. We have several options. Whoops, we're not passing ourselves. Several options to get forward right there. Okay, so that's how we get out. All right. Exits are always 7s and 11s. 7, 11, always open. Okay, 2s and 3s if we have to on goal kicks. All right, now corners, defending corners. Okay, the 4 and the 5, you are going to be in the middle marking. People might do all kinds of funky things up here. Let them. We're going to play a zonal, more of a zonal coverage, which means we just have all areas covered. The 2 and the 3, 1 is on the outside of the post with your, in this case, if the kick is coming from here, you are going to be preventing that ball from getting through on the short side. 1, you're back here. The other outside back, you are inside the net on the goal line with your left shoulder against the post because you are now part of the post. So if it pops here and goes low corner, which is always open, not in this case though, you're there to stop it. Okay, and then we have the 6 back in. The 8, the 7 is going to hang out here. If they put 2 out here, we're going to put 2 out there stacked. So that would look like this. 10, you're going to be at the top of the box. 11, you are back in. 9, you are going to hang out up here just so they don't put extra girls in. This is fine right here. So let's say they put 2 out here. We're going to send our 7. Then we're going to send our 8. So it'll look like this. And if they go here, then we'll immediately match up. If they do, while I'm on the topic, if they do something like this, where let's say she's not even there, but they go here, if it goes negative, okay, if it goes backwards, ball goes, you go. Everybody gets out. Okay, get off that line. And keepers and center backs, this is up to you to call. Get off that line. So now people are offside. And the same goes for run of play. Ball goes, you go. Ball goes, you go. Get up the field. Okay. One thing I forgot to mention is 4 and 5. Who are you connected to defensively or actually in the attack? In the attack, they are connected to the 9. How so, you say? Well, if the 9 is all the way up here and our 4 and 5 are back here and we lose possession, there's a ton of space in here. So if the 9's all the way high, we are going to have them push way up, and then everybody here will be up there too. That would have come out quickly in gameplay. Okay, so basically defending corners, let's just make sure the 2 is providing coverage for the short low, ball coming through from the corner, and the 3 is inside the net on the post. Okay, and everyone else is zonal. All right, so we have got run of play, attacking, defending. We've got goal kick for us. We've got goal or a corner kick defending. All right, now let's go into something that we will do a lot, and that is how to defend their goal kick. And let's spread them all the way out, just like we would, assuming that is what they're going to do. Typically, they will have 6 in space here, and then 8 and 10 probably be down like that. We did see at nationals with the 11s where they did this. That was kind of hard to defend, but we adjusted pretty quickly on that and then took it away and they didn't adjust back. Okay, so 4, 4, 5, 8, 9, 10. Good. Okay, so 9, you are going to stay central up here. This is really important. 7, you are going to play over the center back. So on the same horizontal or vertical plane as the center back. So 7, you are over the center back just a step off the line. 11, same thing right here. With the rule change a few years ago where you could go short like this is the way to defend it. 8, you are man marked up. 10, you are man marked up. 6, you are zonal, most likely, depending on how high they are. 4 and 5, you are in your normal spots. And 2 and 3, you are in a basic zone spot. Okay. If they're really that high, which they probably won't be, but if they are, we would move our back line back. So I'm going to move these guys up. So let's say it looks like this. That's fine. So that's actually really good coverage right there. So let's say the keeper is going to have the ball in the middle and choose one side or another. Okay. If she does decide to go long, we've got those areas covered. We can just have the 2 and the 8 and the 6 go into this area here. No problem at all. Let's say they go short. Okay, this is important. They go short right here. Okay, they go to their right. The first thing we want to defend is exactly what we would want to do first, which is getting this ball forward on the dribble. The 11 holds her spot. Is this girl wide open? Yes. Do we care? No. Well, we do. And it's on purpose. Again, predictable. So over the 11, we want to take this away, which means she's going to pass it, which is exactly what we want her to do. So she moves to or they move that ball out here. And then immediately we put her under intense pressure. We want to take her second touch away if we can get there. So ball arrives. We've made her predictable. Now she immediately tries to take that away. The 3, knowing what our plan is, has immediately taken her away, making sure she cannot turn at all. Okay. 9 now has shifted over to make sure that they can't go back through the back. The mid will have moved over. The 10 is on her. Another mid will have moved over. The 8 can take her. The 7 drops in that line of 4 that we talked about. 6 moves, 5 moves, 4 drops, 2 holds. And this is what it looks like. It is now very hard for them to get out because now we've got our line of 4, but it's a man-marked line. Okay, so this is what we want. We gain the ball. And 11s, you'll remember from nationals that the plan was as soon as we gain the ball, we've got 2 touches. So either this girl, weak side forward, will make a run to the dot. Either this girl serves it in, or she finds a mid that's open quickly and she serves it in. But our counterattack in the finishing third off of a goal kick is gain the ball, get it to the dot, to the weak side forward, making a run. And in this case, the 2 would have made the run behind her because she's connected. And now we're right back to it. Okay, so one more time, or rewind this on YouTube if you need to. 7 and 11, you are over the center backs. 9, you are preventing a ball going right to the 6 immediately. 8 and 10, you are man marking. 6 is holding. 3 is zone. 2 is zone. What do we want? We want them to play her. So let's say they go the other side. Ball goes here. Immediately, 2 goes here to take that away. 7 tries to take her second touch away. 8 is man marked here. 9 takes her away to prevent a negative escape. 10 comes in. 11 comes in. Actually, it could make that line of 4. That's pretty easy right here. And then we shift. Is she open? Yes, but she's going to have to come here to get the ball because we've got this cut off. Okay, so we're trapping them. Okay, and now our corners. So we have 3 plays that we do. First off, we are always going to send 2 players to the corner. Okay, and I'm going to yell out a number, or someone on the field will. If it is an odd number, one person is going to touch the ball. So number 1 is an odd number. It could be 55, I yell out, but that's still an odd number. So I want you to think of 1. So one person is going to touch it before it gets to the net. Okay, so let's say that the 7 is taking it. Okay, doesn't matter who. The 10 is the one that goes over. So this is what it'll look like. 9, you are responsible for the keeper. Get on the keeper. 11, you have back. 3, you have long. 6, you are likely holding. 4 and 5 up here, we are going to sandwich as a +1. And then 8 is going to be inside. 2 is going to be up at the top with the 6. So we are going to have this. So if I say 22, 2 people need to touch it. So she can go here, and then she's going to serve it to the back post. That's what 22 is. If it's going to be 21, so one person touches it, she puts her arm up, puts her arm down, counts to 3. And during that time, she's making a run to the front post. And now we're all situated. Okay, so that's a vanilla play in the middle. Okay, so vanilla is we just go to the spots that we're going to end up. Right, so vanilla. Let's say the call is 22 dominoes. Okay, so this is what this will look like. Let's get these people back. So whoever is going to be at the top of the box at the end of the corner kick is going to be in front. Okay. Then next we'll have, actually the 9 is going to be here. No, I did that wrong. Okay. 9 will be in the front of the line. Pardon all that. Okay, then we've got 6 can hold there. Again, this is not to scale, so there'll be more room there. Okay, so dominoes, this is what it looks like. So 21 dominoes. 21 dominoes is the call. So we've got dominoes, and now we've got one person, okay? Arm up, arm down. 9 goes to the keeper. 2 loops around, 3 loops around, or whoever's the second in there. Okay, and we're just filling spots. We want to fill the middle first, then we fill the outsides. She makes her run in to the top, and there we go. Okay, so if they're doing man marking, it'll be kind of hard for them to do. Okay, so we've got vanilla, we've got dominoes, and we've got bunch. Bunch is everybody gets in a big clump, so no one knows who they're marking. And then when it's arm up, arm down, she's running in, assuming she's not getting the ball, and everyone is going to the spots where they normally go during that time, hopefully losing their mark. Okay. And then one final one that we'll learn later in the year is T. Okay, so what that is, we've got 3 girls, and ignore the numbers here because who knows what it's going to be at the time. We've got 10 over here. Will look like that. Okay, so these girls are actually all the way up here. So on arm up, arm down, these 3 are going to sweep across like this. Okay, and they're going to try to clear out bodies because these 3 are making rounded runs in the back. And the goal is to drop the ball right here. And then it goes in. So scored on that before. A couple times, a few times. Okay, so we have run of play attacking, run of play defending, connections on the ball, connections off the ball. We have goal kicks for, goal kicks against, corner kicks for, corner kicks against, and that is all. If you have gone this far in the video, the code word is Mahomes. Okay, Mahomes it is. All right, that is all. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye now.